Okay, let's start this officially. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming here for this first day. My name is Frédéric Donck. For those who don't know me, I'm the director of the European Bureau, and I'm very honored and very pleased to officially open this very first European Community Network Summit here in Tbilisi. We got a wonderful agenda that we will spend, so 1.5 days that we will spend with you, and we will discuss everything about community networks. Everything you never dare to ask about community networks will be addressed here. So let me state again the mission of the Internet Society very clearly, because it's very clear in our mind. We want to keep an internet that is globally connected, trustworthy, secure, and open. And on the top of it, we want this internet to be accessible to everybody. That's what we are doing here and in the rest of the world. We engage different communities, governments, civil society, academics, businesses, all the stakeholders that might have a stake in the internet to make this internet accessible. No, let's face it. We have so far 4.4 billion internet users in the world. It means that there is a little bit less than half of the population that is not connected to the internet. Clearly, those first 4 billion was fairly easy. There were lots of challenges, but honestly, it was the easiest part. Now, we're talking about connecting people who are in remote areas, here in the mountains of Georgia, in deserts, in islands. That will prove a little bit more difficult. So there will be a lot of different challenges, and we will address those challenges during those 1.5 days, during those 3 panels. For that, and we have invited people all around Europe and even worldwide. So we have people from the Philippines, we have people from Spain, from Greece, even from Vienna, thank you. We have people from all over the place in Europe to come and share their experience about community networks. We have divided those conversations in 3 key conversations. The first one that will happen today is the technical part. What are the best technology, or how could we equip those antennas? How does it work? Share of experience, and maybe a best practices will come out of this conversation. That is a conversation of this afternoon. And again, as I said, and I didn't mention Kyrgyzstan, we have even people from Kyrgyzstan to share experience here. In community networks, you have also the word community. So I found it very important that we also share this human part. So there will be witness on what those community networks, the local networks, brings to people. So we will have some conversation about that today. Tomorrow will be another very interesting day. There will be question about sustainability of this model. For any investor, donors, or government, or people interested in investing in community networks, is it worth putting $10 into it? What does it do? So you will have a lot of conversation about that, about the economic model and the sustainability of community networks. And then, last but not least, tomorrow afternoon, we will discuss the policy or regulatory environment. We know that community networks will certainly bring connectivity to a lot of remote people, but it requires an environment that is favorable. And we know that for community networks to flourish, they need a favorable legislations or regulation around it. It's too easy to create impediment to the development of community networks in the world. That too will be addressed tomorrow. So see, we will have 3 different angles: the technical, the economic, and the policy one. So stay with us, because those conversations will be essential. With that in mind, I wish us an extraordinary 1.5 day conversation. It has been a busy week here in Tbilisi this week. We've packed everything in 1 week. We had the network operator group, we had the youth IGF, we had a wonderful Georgian IGF yesterday. So now is the time to talk about access and community networks. So stay with us. Welcome all of you, and I would like to extend my thanks to the Georgian government, who is partnering with us, to our community, and in particular our chapter here in Georgia, who partnered with us to make this event. Without them, it would not have been possible. So can I ask you, Ucha, to say a few words from the government of Georgia? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Frédéric.
I'll speak Georgian. Let me greet you all. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your time, for being with us today. I am so delighted that always that the ministry and information community have this very close cooperation with each other, and ultimately we go to the results that we always have, and we're delighted to have it. I want to mention that, well, first of all, thank you to ISOC for deciding to host the European Summit in Georgia. This is of tremendous importance and great pleasure and honor for us, and this has been conditioned by the two projects that we have carried out so far in Georgia for the community networks. The first one was Introductory internet connection, which was carried out in 2017, and we have 24 villages and all 4 valleys covered with internet. We have had great results. What I mean is that local population have their own small guest houses, and they offer online services, and huge penetration and huge demand has been satisfied. And the second project, which is still implemented, Seturi and Kubusidze, sound and permanent population is about 1,300, and I believe that this project will be completed by the end of this year. Once again, thank you, ISOC, for this huge support and assistance. I believe that similar projects will be carried out in future as well. What is most important for the government of Georgia in general, for the country, within these projects, within the community networks, and why is the government supporting always these kind of initiatives? I mentioned it many times, and I'll repeat it. We're in the 21st century internet. The use is a right, human right provided by the Constitution. It is our challenge to have the broadband developed in the country, to make sure that our population has access to internet. The geography and location of the country and the landscape, you may well know that we have high terrain regions which are hard for businesses to have it, and engagement of the government and support of the government is so important. Therefore, technical support, that's what we worked on with ISOC, and the second project, both financial and technical, is covered. We are delighted that the Association of Small and Medium Telecom Operators is supporting the government, and we are doing this together. We're together in this effort, and without them it would have been impossible or hard to carry out these projects. And in the future with ISOC and this association will carry out similar projects to cover the high terrain regions. Well, at least we'll do our best to support such initiatives in the future. I believe that by the end of the year we'll have tangible results in Seturi and Kubusidze. We'll have the project completed. We have some other regions. I won't go into details. We have some regions that we plan to cooperate with donor agencies and community to have similar projects in the country. Once again, thank you so much to ISOC, for everyone engaged in these projects, in the implementation of those projects. And of course, I wish you great success. We'll be more detailed tomorrow. We have a very interesting day ahead of us. And personally for me, it was so important that Telecom International, the association I go, has said that our experience is so important for them. And our background, our experience is getting so interesting for the international community, and the technical solutions that we find, what is the role of the government, these are the main questions posed, and many people ask these questions, different countries, different administrations, IQ especially, and they are focusing on these segments to support their member countries. I believe we serve as a good model, not only for the Eastern Partnership, but also globally, and we are happy to serve as a role model, and Government of Georgia will continue doing so. Thank you, Wysok and Frédéric. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ucha, very much. What I love of you, Ucha, if you are able in 5 minutes to just sum up the whole meeting, actually. It's just perfect. You touch upon so many important points. Ucha, I spoke about the community. Ucha also spoke about the telecom associations, you both, so please, a few words from your side.
Okay, Alba.
Thank you so much. I'll speak Georgian as well. Let me greet you all, first of all. Thank you so much for being with us today and all this time. Personally, for me and for many others, we are going to talk about very important topics today and tomorrow, and to support the tremendous job that we're doing together. What is most important, we're doing it for people that are very far from these benefits. They are away from urban areas, and they depend on us, and this is a huge challenge and a huge problem for them. What can I say? I'm sorry. What can I say on this topic from our perspective? Let me start by saying huge thank yous for the great support that we have had that made us start this project, for implementing these ideas. When we were launching the second project, Seturi and Kubusidze, this was similar to a very simple one that we had in Tbilisi, but when we reached those locations, and that was last year, when we were supported in the check-in of locations through a USAID project Access, when we wanted to reach every village to see the local population, to talk to them, and to see what their needs are, to meet every hero, and they are truly heroes because they live in those conditions, they want to remain there, and they want to have connection, and that's why they need internet. Thank you for, huge thank you for the Internet Society, without which we would not simply have this project, starting from Tusheti project and continued with the Kubusidze and Seturi. If not these huge supports, then I'm not saying anything about financial, first of all intellectual support, moral support, and then financial support that we have benefited at all these international engagements where these tremendous people are here, and they've been supporting us all this time. We've been together in the efforts, in the inspiration, in the huge task that was so important for us. What else can I say about Seturi? In contrast with Tusheti, where we had Internet Society and the government as a supporter in terms of public awareness, today we have a donor. Together with the Internet Society, we have the donor in terms of the Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development, which donated funds without any selection on community networks. And more than half of that was contributed by the government as a grant financing, and we have other stakeholders, including the private sector, NGO sector, and they are so thrilled, and they wanted to get engaged, and they were urging us to let them get engaged in this huge work. We also have a embassy of Czech Republic, and they wanted us to get them involved. Last year they interacted with us, and tomorrow they'll be speaking on their own segment. They gave us money to make sure that the end user was not made to pay, and internet installation costs were covered and incurred by them. And the most important in this case, with which I want to close, is the local community members who are here with us. Majority of them wanted to be with us, irrespective of the hard summer. Every morning that they were all the time with us. I am a heavyweight myself, but I was always with them, walking every mile. That the inspiration, motivation was so huge, and the happiness and joy in their eyes was so rewarding. That is a huge feeling, and in every village there was no infrastructure apart from roads, and the roads were delayed 2 years ago, and these were so far away regions and so isolated that we covered them, and we're talking about Russia, Chechnya and Ingushetia borderlines. And once again, huge thank you to all of you for making this happen, making this project happen. This is a tremendous gift for these people. So I wish you all a very interesting day and a half today and tomorrow. And once again, our huge gratitude on behalf of every community that we covered. Very sincere gratitude without any extra flattery and extra words. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, both of you. Ucha, you made a perfect